Okay, hello everyone. Today we're going to learn about topic quadratic equation. So before moving to the main topic, I have one question. Have you ever heard about the quadratic function? Right. So the general form of quadratic function is ax squared plus bx plus c, where a have to be different from 0, right? So today we're gonna learn how we can solve this one, how we can solve the quadratic equation. So what is the definition of quadratic equation? So the quadratic equation is defined as the form of ax squared fx equal ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, right? And we learn this is the definition of quadratic equation, and we learn how we can solve it. Okay, so the first method we're gonna use to solve the quadratic equation is factorization. Okay, so in factorization, the one law you need to remember, which is the null factor law. Okay, so in the null factor law state that when you have a times b equals 0, we have a equals 0 or b equals 0. Alright, so now the first thing you're gonna try to learn, for example, right, you have the function, you need to solve the equation fx equal ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Right, so for example, right, like fx example equal x squared plus 3x plus 2 equal to 0. Right, the first step you need to factorize this equation, right? So 3x plus x squared plus 3x plus 2. So the first step I'm gonna do is I break down 3x into x plus 2x, right? And then x squared plus x plus 2x plus 2 equal to 0. And the next step, you're gonna try to factorize. What is the common factor between x squared and x? Right? It's gonna be x times x plus 1, right? What is the common factor between 2x and 2? It's gonna be 2, right? And I factor out 2. The remaining side bracket now is x plus 1 equal to 0, right? So now the common factor is x plus 1 times x plus 2 is gonna be 0, right? So x plus 1 times x plus 2 is equal 0, right? So we apply the null factor law, right? So we have now, from now, if we calculate it, it turns out to be that x plus 1 equals 0 or x plus 2 equals 0. Right? When x plus 1 equals 0, x equal to negative 1 or x equal to be negative 2. Okay? This is the way how we can use factorization to solve the quadratic equation. Okay, you get it? So take time to practice. Alright, and now, okay, not all the equation you cannot factorize all the equation. The second one I'm gonna use today is gonna be the second method. Is a completing square. Okay, so what is the completing square? Right, completing square. This is the form of ax plus b squared, right? So the form this is general form, right? So in the quadratic equation, right, in forms y equal ax squared plus bx plus c, right? Try to form it as the form of kind of a times x plus something, right? Some like either like a d kind of square and the remainder here I just said e. Alright, so yes, remember a have to be different from 0. Alright, so one typical example for this question, right, is y. For example, y equal x squared, like plus 4x squared plus 4x plus 1, kind of, right, equal 0. Right. So how can you solve this equation? Okay, the first step, try to turn it into the form of completing square, right? 2x, what square equal to 4x squared? Is it 2x squared, right? And plus 2 times 2x plus 1 squared. Because, alright, I will write out the formula for you to remember, right? A squared, a plus or minus b squared is equal to a squared plus or minus 2 times a times b plus b squared. Alright? Yeah, so we apply for this question. Remember, okay, take note if you want. Alright, so this one is equal to 2x plus 1 squared equal to 0. We have 2x plus 1 equal to 0. Right? That's up to now very easy, right? If you compute that, it's gonna be x equal to minus 1 over 2. Right? This is the answer. You can also use the factorization, but because this way is the easiest way for you to use the completing square. Okay. Now the last method is we use the quadratic formula. Okay. So why do we have to divide into many methods like this? Because each type of question, you need to be flexible to choose which one is easiest way for you to do, right? So write out the quadratic equation. Fx equal ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, right? Yes, with the quadratic equation, yes, the formula here, right? The last method is the quadratic formula, right? Formula. Yeah. So for this question, right? You can use this formula to apply all type of questions. Don't care about the coefficient a, b, c, right? This formula, right? It is x, right, equal to, right, b squared, right? The first step, try to identify the coefficients b, a, and c, right? So b squared plus or minus root square, right? I'm sorry, right? It should be minus b, right? Plus or minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a, right? Right. So this is the formula you can use. Remember, right? Remember that the expression under the square is always greater than or equal to 0. Right? We're gonna learn about the complex number, but up to now, just remember all the expression under square has to be greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0. Okay. So for example, I have some example here for you to practice for the quadratic equation. Okay. So let's look at on the screen. Right. I choose this question. Right. So right. But if I have, right, 25 x squared minus 20x plus 1 equal to 0, right? So the first thing, you list out all the coefficients. It's gonna be a equal 25, b equal negative 20, and c equal to 1, right? So we have, right, so apply the formula. We have x equal to minus b plus or minus root square of b squared minus 4ac divide 2a, right? Right now, substitute the value a, b, c into this variable, right? Negative b, negative of minus 20 is gonna be 20 plus or minus, right? Root square of negative 20 squared minus 4 times 25 times c equal to 1 or times 2 times 25. So after simplify, we have what? Equal to 2, right? Plus or minus root square of 3 over 5. Okay, that's it about the quadratic equation, right? Summary, in sum up, we have 3 ways to solve quadratic equation. First one, we use factorization. Second, we use the completing square. And last one, we use the quadratic formula. We can apply all the questions using this method. And remember, the expression under the square is always greater than or equal to 0. Yeah, that's it. You can find the real solution. And that's it for the quadratic equation. See you the next time. Yeah.